Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome to day one of the Just 10 for Me 10-day total transformation challenge, where we are transforming our mind, body, and spirit. Today's subject is stress and anxiety, along with how to respond to triggers. Now, we all experience these things, so I'm going to share just a couple of nuggets on things that we can do to help alleviate these things. So I'll start with stress and anxiety. One of the things that we really need to do when it comes to handling stress and anxiety is trying to get to the root cause, the root reason. So I'm just going to give one example of many. Let's say we as women and individuals, let's say if we're in roles or positions where we find ourselves always putting everybody before us, always putting ourselves on the back burner, not even putting ourselves on our to-do list, oftentimes there can be a buildup, and that buildup can cause burnout, stress, and anxiety. Okay, so I'm going to share a few things here in my notes here. But one of the things that I want you all to remember is the importance of making yourself a priority, okay? Which, making yourself a priority, if you're not used to doing that, you're going to have to train yourself to do that, okay? So part of making yourself a priority is literally sitting down and writing down a list, writing down all of your priorities, but you must include yourself. And the reason why you must include yourself is because oftentimes if we don't write down a thing, or if we don't include ourselves, it's easy to get lost in the sauce, okay? So when you prioritize, what you want to do is write down the list of all your priorities, of course, in their level of importance. And then you need to set a schedule, create some sort of list regarding your priorities. Now, we know that life starts life, and then we have things, let's say, that can interrupt our schedule. We even may have to modify our workout routines, things of that nature, okay? But the bottom line is that you must make yourself a priority. And you have to do this in a way where you don't allow yourself to linger in guilt. Sometimes if you're not used to making yourself a priority, oftentimes in the beginning there's those feelings of guilt, remorse, or feeling like you're stealing time away from family members, or you're stealing time away from your children. But you must remember that it is so important that you keep your cup full and overflowing, because you can't pour from a half-empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup at all, okay? And now I'm going to move over into triggers. We all have triggers, and triggers are just that. They're triggers. They're different moments and events in our life that trigger our emotions. Oftentimes, it can trigger us with anger, which can lead to a lot of other emotions. But one of the best ways to handle triggers is simply acknowledging the trigger. And there's a method that I use. It's called catch and release, depending on the nature of the situation, of course. When I know I'm triggered, I acknowledge that trigger. I acknowledge it, okay? I acknowledge it. I pray about it. I talk to God about it. And then once I do that, then I kind of start going into the why. You know, it's important to always know, why do you feel this way? If you feel a certain type of way, okay, why did that make me angry? Why did that bother me? Because the root of a thing is how we cure a thing. So once, we research and we start asking ourselves those questions, the why, once we get that answer, then what we do, we reference that. Like, for instance, if someone said something to you and it bothered you, and sometimes people can say things and they didn't even mean for it to affect you that way, but let's say it affected you in a negative way, and it's like, okay, that bothered me, and I'm digging deep inside to find out why. And then it can be for a reason regarding an experience I experienced way back in my childhood, or a year ago, or 5 years ago with someone else. But once I acknowledge it, then guess what? I create a game plan on how to attack that thing so that if that particular trigger arises again, then I know how to handle it. So, everyone, please, please, please stay engaged because guess what? We're dropping a lot of wonderful content. And last but not least, here, we have a YouTube channel now. So, we will be downloading content on the YouTube page as well because we know Facebook, they actually delete all videos after 30 days. So we will be downloading content on the YouTube channel, and I will share the YouTube link with you momentarily. Until next time, have a great day.